This is Friday, October 16th. This deals mostly with the Lewis and Clark and Zebulon Pike expeditions. Well, we had purchased the Louisiana Territory. Now this encompassed the upper Mississippi, the Missouri River, the Red River. But what exactly did we get? Well, we needed to send out explorers. President Jefferson is going to turn to his private secretary, Meriwether Lewis. Meriwether Lewis was asked to explore the Missouri River to see if it was the fabled Northwest Passage, that river which would lead to the Pacific Ocean. Now, Lewis is going to ask William Clark, who was an Indian fighter in what is now the state of Indiana, to be the co-director or co-leader of this expedition. Each day, the two captains, either Lewis or Clark, would put on the symbol that they were the leader for that day. Now, in a year and a half, the team would travel up the Missouri River, cross the Rocky Mountains, and see the Pacific Ocean. And then in less than another year, they would come back to where they started in St. Louis. Now, Lewis and Clark's journey is going to go along the Missouri River, the Snake River, the Columbia River. They're going to make friends with various Native American tribes. They're going to discover many new animals and plants. And they're going to bring as much of this back to President Jefferson as they could. Now, this slide here kind of takes you on a day-by-day journey of the expedition. You could easily find this on YouTube. The Lewis and Clark expedition will pass by what is now Jefferson City twice. On the way up, they will camp out outside of what is now Osage City. There is a scenic bluff that overlooks the Missouri River, near where the National Guard has its headquarters. On the way back, they will camp out in what is now Gray's Creek, where they will be forced to fix one of the masts of their boats. Now, this here talks about the Lewis and Clark Plaza, which is located here in Jefferson City. If you have never had a chance to go, you really need to go and look at it. Zebulon Pike was given another mission. Zebulon Pike was sent to explore the upper Mississippi River and to see how far north it went. He went as far north as what is now Minnesota, where he discovered the source of the Mississippi River. In addition to this, Zebulon Pike is going to travel up the Arkansas River into what is now the present-day state of Colorado. It is here that he is going to make mention of the various mountains. And years later, one of them will be named in honor of him. The United States had begun an industrial revolution in 1803. Now, in your notes, we're going to talk about three. The first one in 1803 will be in the first semester, the fall semester. And then the second and third will be in the spring or second semester. Now, a revolution saw the change from making goods by hand to making goods by machine made. It is Samuel Slater who will be given credit for creating a power mill in Lowell, Massachusetts. Now, Slater would take raw wool and turn it into thread, and then he would take the thread and weave it into cloth. Now, his power source was water. Now, Slater had come from Great Britain, where this technology was a closely guarded secret, but he came and made a fortune. Now, this slide talks about Samuel Slater. Eli Whitney came up with the concept of interchangeable parts. Now, during the American Revolution, there had been a great controversy involving the use of firearms. Every company, a company is about 100 guys, had to have some type of a gunsmith. If your gun failed to work, then you would take the gun to the gunsmith and he would have to fabricate a part. Wouldn't it be nice if all the parts in every gun would fit in every gun? And that's what Eli Whitney did. Eli Whitney is going to machine make 10 identical guns. He's then going to disassemble them. He's going to ask members of Congress to jumble up all the parts, and then he's going to put all 10 guns back together, and all 10 guns will work. Eli Whitney, of course, is also known for the invention of the cotton gin. Now, by training, Eli Whitney was a school teacher, and on his travels to the South, where he would act as a tutor, he saw how cotton was laboriously dissected. Now, cotton has a lot of small seeds, and before the cotton gin, you would have to tear the cotton ball apart, take out all the seeds, and this took forever. With the cotton gin is going to use nails and revolving wheels to literally rip the cotton apart, and the seeds will fall by the wayside. The cotton gin is going to revolutionize the growing of cotton in the South and, unfortunately, make slavery profitable. This particular video talks about Eli Whitney. The invention of the cotton gin is going to revitalize the South. Cotton now becomes a cash crop, and it replaces tobacco. Soon, the South would rely on king cotton and slave labor. Cotton would become the #1 industry of the United States. Well, with all of those videos, we would easily have gone through an entire period. So we're going to stop here today. And Monday, we're going to look at Jefferson's second administration.